Breaking. The British monarchy just did something it hasn't done in 88 years. And the Prime Minister's response might end his career before sunrise. 3 days ago, King Charles held a secret 2-hour meeting with Nigel Farage inside Windsor Castle. Not a photo op, not a handshake, a closed-door strategy session that breaks every rule of royal neutrality. If you want to see how this ends, hit subscribe now, because what happens in the next 48 hours will rewrite British history. Here's what we know. Farage's Reform UK published a proposal titled Restoring Britain's Democratic Foundation. It warned of parliamentary overreach and institutional erosion. According to Buckingham Palace sources, King Charles personally arranged the meeting after reading it. And during that meeting, the King allegedly said 12 words that sparked a constitutional firestorm. Perhaps it's time for fresh thinking in Westminster. The current path seems unsustainable. 12 words, that's all it took. The meeting was supposed to stay secret. Royal protocol demands it. The Crown cannot be seen taking political sides. The last time a British monarch held private political strategy talks like this was 1936, when Edward VIII met with Winston Churchill before his abdication crisis. But within 48 hours, the story exploded across every front page in Britain. Here's where it gets wild. The leak didn't come from Reform UK. They had every incentive to stay quiet. Palace insiders now suggest it came from inside Downing Street itself. Labour MPs, furious at seeing their own leader outmanoeuvred, allegedly leaked it to embarrass him. The Times broke it first, then the BBC, Sky News, The Guardian, The Daily Mail. Within hours, every major outlet in Britain was running the story. Front page, lead segment, breaking news banners. If leaking was meant to embarrass Starmer, it backfired spectacularly. When Prime Minister Keir Starmer found out, witnesses say he lost control completely. At an emergency cabinet meeting, he reportedly paced the room, slamming papers on the table. Deputy Prime Minister Angela Rayner later described him as a man possessed. Then came the moment that might destroy his career. According to multiple sources, inside that room, Starmer smashed his fist on the cabinet table and shouted, "If Charles wants to play politics, I'll show him how the game is really played." The monarchy serves Parliament, not the other way around. He's forgotten his place. Gasps filled the room. Cabinet ministers exchanged horrified glances, but he wasn't done. Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson told colleagues Starmer continued, 300 years of constitutional tradition. That's just old men in fancy clothes playing dress up. This is 2025, not 1725. If he wants a fight, he's got one. No sitting Prime Minister in modern history has spoken about the monarch with such open contempt. Not during the abdication crisis, not during the Diana years, not ever. Within hours, the comments leaked. Ministers whispered to journalists, civil servants texted contacts in the press gallery, and the internet detonated. #1 worldwide within 6 hours. Pro-monarchy accounts flooded social media. Clips of Starmer's old speeches were dug up and captioned. This is what happens when Republicans take power. Memes went viral instantly. Starmer dressed as Oliver Cromwell, Starmer under a guillotine, Starmer ripping up the Union Jack. The creativity was brutal, the reach was massive, but it wasn't just Conservatives piling on. Traditional Labour voters were horrified. Margaret Thompson, a 68-year-old retired teacher from Liverpool, posted a TikTok that hit 2.3 million views in 24 hours. Looking straight into the camera, she said, "I supported Labour through Thatcher. I supported Labour through Blair. But attacking our king, that's not the Labour Party I know, that's not Britain." Her comment section exploded with thousands of similar stories, lifelong Labour voters saying they were done, former activists returning their membership cards. The party wasn't just losing voters, it was losing its identity. Then came the numbers that changed everything. A YouGov emergency poll conducted just 18 hours after the story broke showed 73% of Britons believed Starmer went too far. Labour's approval rating crashed from 42% to 28% in a single day. In traditional Labour heartlands, Liverpool, Newcastle, Manchester, support collapsed by double digits. Nearly half of previous Labour voters admitted they were reconsidering their support, but here's the stat that should terrify Labour strategists. Among voters over 55 who turn out reliably in elections, Labour's support dropped to just 19%. Among women over 40, it fell to 22%. This wasn't a dip. This wasn't statistical noise. This was catastrophic collapse, the kind that rewrites political maps and ends governments, the kind that turns landslide victories into humiliating defeats. And through it all, through it all, King Charles has said nothing, not a single word. Constitutional experts are calling it the smartest move of his reign. Professor Sarah Matthews of Oxford University explained, "The monarchy survives by staying above politics. By saying nothing, he leaves the Prime Minister twisting in the wind. Every hour the king remains silent. Public outrage grows louder. The crown appears dignified. Starmer appears reckless. Palace insiders say Charles is personally wounded, that his office has been dragged into political theatre, but outwardly he projects nothing. No emotion, no reaction, just quiet strength. And that silence makes Starmer's fury look even more unhinged." Inside Labour HQ, panic has reached fever pitch. A WhatsApp group called Damage Control swelled to over 40 members of Parliament overnight. Messages flew. Should we defend him? Should we distance ourselves? Should we replace him? Veteran MP Diane Abbott reportedly told colleagues, "In 40 years in this party, I've never seen a leader self-destruct like this. He's damaged all of us." Names for succession began circulating. Angela Rayner, Rachel Reeves, even whispers of Ed Miliband returning as an interim safe pair of hands. Transport Secretary Louise Haigh resigned after what sources called a ferocious shouting match with the PM. Two junior ministers followed within hours. Chancellor Rachel Reeves, Starmer's closest ally, was conspicuously absent from TV studios. Her silence was deafening, while Labour Burns' Nigel Farage is exploiting the crisis with surgical precision. Standing outside Reform UK headquarters, flanked by Union Jacks, he delivered the speech of his career. "While others attack our king, Reform UK stands with the crown. While others tear down our traditions, we defend them. While others forget what it means to be British, we remember." The optics were perfect. Labour looked like it was waging war on tradition. Reform UK looked like the guardian of national identity. The results were immediate. Reform UK's membership skyrocketed 400% in 3 days. Donations flooded in from small donors, ordinary voters, disillusioned ex-Labour supporters, all rushing to back the party that stood with the king. For Farage, this isn't just a good week. It's the week that turns his party from fringe insurgents into national contenders. The Conservatives, still wounded from years of internal strife, suddenly find themselves in an unexpected position of strength. Opposition leader Kemi Badenoch played her cards carefully. She didn't overreach, she didn't gloat, but her words cut deep. The Prime Minister has shown complete disrespect for our constitutional monarchy and for the millions of Britons who hold it dear. This isn't political disagreement. This is an attack on the foundations of our democracy. One senior Tory told The Telegraph, "We couldn't have written a better script." And it's not just Britain watching. The world is paying attention. In Canada, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was asked about the crisis. His reply was diplomatic, but the meaning was clear. We respect the important role constitutional monarchy plays in parliamentary democracy. Translation, your PM has lost his mind. In Australia, opposition leader Peter Dutton was less polite. He called Starmer's comments disgraceful and said they damaged Australia's respect for British leadership. Even American networks led with the story. Anchors shook their heads in disbelief as they replayed clips of Starmer railing against old men in fancy clothes. Britain, once a symbol of stability, is now the punchline of international politics. By the end of the week, the polling was brutal. Labour had fallen to 26%. Reform UK surged to 24%. The Conservatives held steady at 32%. For the first time in history, Farage was within striking distance of replacing Labour as the official opposition. Inside Labour's parliamentary party, despair curdled into open rebellion. Backbench MPs held late-night calls, whispering about no confidence letters. Veteran figures admitted privately that Starmer was finished. The conversation had shifted. It was no longer if Starmer would fall, it was when. So where does Britain go from here? Labour is shattered, scrambling for survival. The Conservatives stand steadier, but face a revived challenger in Reform UK. And the monarchy, once thought fragile, now stands taller than ever. King Charles, by saying nothing, has reminded Britain why the crown endures. Dignity, restraint, timelessness. While politicians rage and schemes collapse around him, he remains above the fray, untouchable. Meanwhile, Starmer's fury has reminded voters why populist rage is dangerous, why institutions matter, why attacking the monarchy is political suicide in a country where 68% still support the crown. Constitutionals experts are already calling this the defining crisis of the 21st century British politics, not because of what happened, but because of what it revealed, that the monarchy, written off by so many as an outdated relic, still commands fierce loyalty, that Parliament's authority is not absolute, that tradition in Britain is not just nostalgia, it's power. This wasn't just a scandal, it was a turning point, and it's far from over. Will Starmer resign? Will Labour force him out in a vote of no confidence? Will Reform UK actually overtake them in the polls and become the official opposition? Here's what I need you to do. Drop your prediction in the comments right now. Are you Team Charles or Team Starmer? And more importantly, do you think Starmer survives the week? And if you want to see what happens when Parliament tries to fight back against the Crown, when backbenchers start calling for emergency debates and constitutional reform, you need to watch what I'm covering next. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications because this story is evolving by the hour. History isn't just being written, it's being rewritten. And you're watching it happen in real time. Don't miss what comes next.